sheriff in town. Jubilation at police headquarters over exit of Alkali Baba. Excitement rented the air at the Louis Edet House police headquarters, Abuja, over the exit of retired Inspector General of Police, Alkali Usman Baba. Some policemen hinted our correspondent that the retired IGP operated a nepotistic administration, reports The Guardian. So we look at nepotism at the federal level and just ignore how nepotism is even stronger in the levels below that. So if it's like an IGP, then imagine all the other divisions. Really, like when we say a system is messed up, it's not about the federal or the levels that we can see. In the levels that we cannot see, seeing how things are messed up and nepotism, even offices and daily businesses would operate a nepotistic administration regardless, let alone, or even schools. There was palpable pomp and ceremony at the arrival of acting IGP Kaide Egbe Tokun at the headquarters around 2:30 p.m. Police officers were jubilant over the new sheriff in town. It took the intervention of police provost marshals who guarded and shielded him from mammoth crowd struggling to shake his hands. And it's like, so I think what this shows is that Nigerians, it's too much of an ask for us to think that the revolution and change that we need is at the presidential level only. Like, as I said, our thinking is just atrocious, embarrassing. It's just, like, the way we think shows in the way we act and operate. And our culture, it's not it at all. And I think that the fact that if, Alkali Usman Baba ran and operated a nepotistic administration, the people within the administration felt so powerless that, again, until the man retired and until he decided to leave, that's when they start to jubilate. So if you look at this and then you replicate it on a bigger scale on the federal level, and we're depending, obviously we understand how much power a president has, so of course we would pay attention to it. But if you find that if on that level the people within the organization, no one found it important to organize, and I think that's what it is, like, to organize and literally get this person out. Because the system, the space, the people working under him probably know how things are run. But they themselves, because they're also corrupted, would then try to, it's like you pick sides. Instead of then fighting what is wrong, you pick sides. And so imagine in hospitals, in businesses, in schools, where you have bullies in power who, like, the worst they can give to literally a Nigerian anywhere is just their power. We oppress ourselves. And then it's so funny how we then expect better from people at the top. When we ourselves, we can't even organize. Let's say in a little office, this manager, he's treating everyone badly, this manager does not follow due process. This manager, they don't carry themselves well. They talk to staff anyhow. Staff, instead of them to organize, bring together evidence of how this person has been this, and then submit it to whoever it is that's meant to exert the power. But then you find that the person you're even submitting to, that you're trying to report, is the one who put that manager there. So it's like, no wonder Nigerians feel very helpless. And that's why with a lot of movements, it's like we start with so much energy, so much power, so much, and then when we are beaten, when we are oppressed, and the powers that be know the buttons to press, we suppress, and we literally we go our separate ways. The energy just fizzles down, and we're reminded, where are you? You are Nigerian, don't even try it. You know what I mean? So I think it's really a problem, and I think it's very sad. I believe it's very sad. Like, it's actually very, very sad. Like, honestly, it's honestly such a shame. It's such a shame. And I think that's why, to be honest, with any movement, we can't bypass the little things and then start doing the big things. No, if we really think we're going to lead a revolution with the country and then at the presidential level, we haven't done it in our offices, we haven't done it in our schools, we haven't done it in our hospitals, we haven't done it in our organizations, we haven't even done it in our churches, in our religious institutions that are meant to, you know what is crazy? You know what is actually mad? You know what's actually mad, right? You would think that for a country that is so religious, because now it's a thing where it's like, okay, great, the government cannot impact everybody. Okay, fantastic. With a lot of religions, we can all agree that we pretty much preach the same things when it comes to, when it comes to being a good person, when it comes to having integrity, when it comes to loving one another, when it comes to being kind, when it comes to being hardworking. So these are basically themes that you'd find in a lot of religions. And you'd find that if it also shows that the religious institutions are failing, all our systems are failing. Because on paper, religion isn't technically bad. The intentions as to religion's impact on a society. I mean, as Nigerians, we are meant to, with how churches are almost every 10 steps is a church. Every 10 steps is a church or a mosque or a church mosque. You would think that this country is actively breeding, a different kind of people when it comes to our moral fiber. As in, you would genuinely think that, okay, fine, this country has taken it upon itself to breed, upstanding citizens. And if we really practice what our religion is, then in our businesses, in our schools, the things that we hear, our behaviors, the way we think. And it's crazy because it's like you'd expect that, with our morals, with religion that is such a big influence in how we behave, you would think that, oh, wow, the people that are going to be bred, oh, wow, these are different caliber. But yet we got into our Nigerian societies and we mess up. The horrible stories that include especially lack of integrity and corruption, Nigerians are there. And it's such a shame. Like, it's so embarrassing. And it really shows that we are our problem. And our problem is more than religion. That religion cannot fix it at all. Right? Especially when you hear the crimes and the things that pastors are even doing. Like, it's honestly so crazy. It's so crazy. So, yeah, I mean, I personally think that, listen, more than just saying, oh, Alkali Baba Ahmed has gone, Alkali Usman Baba has gone, I personally think that's not necessarily, that the conversation we can have is, oh, finally he's gone. But the conversation really is how, as Nigerian citizens, when it comes to doing the right things, like, if one system is functioning and operating the way it should, aka, let's say a small business, right? And then a small school. Like, when you have functioning things, if a system can function by itself, to be honest, for the large governing system of Nigeria, it literally depends on the smaller governing systems and the different sectors of our society to operate well. For us to then say, oh, we can replicate it on a bigger form. If not, we are wasting our time, and it just shows that as a people, as a society, we are actually we're really not a good people. We should be very embarrassed and ashamed of ourselves, because there is really nothing worthy in calling ourselves Nigerians. It's not there. It's just embarrassing. You should even stop it. But what do you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.